Just listen for a second. Can you hear that sound? That clang, clang, clang of metal spatulas on a hot griddle? And the smell, oh, that amazing smell of hot oil, flour, and fresh scallions all coming together. That, right there, is the sound and smell of one of Taiwan's most iconic street foods.
But here's the thing, this is no ordinary pancake. It's some kind of textural wizardry. It manages to be crispy, chewy, and unbelievably fluffy, all in the same bite. And that brings us to the big question we're tackling today. How in the world does a simple dough of flour and water get that incredible 1,000-layer texture? Well, let's peel back those layers and find out.
To really get it, we need to go back in time a bit and meet the pancake's ancestor. Because the story of the Taiwanese scallion pancake, or 葱抓饼, is really a story of evolution, and, as it turns out, a very, very happy accident. So, on one hand, you have the original Northern Chinese pancake. Think of it as the tough guy of food. It was dense, it was heavy, and it was made to fill your belly and keep you warm. But its descendant, the Taiwanese version, is something else entirely. It's light, it's fluffy, it's all about the art of the texture and the taste. So, how did that happen?
Well, the legend is just fantastic. It was a total mistake. A chef in northern China was panicking that his pancake was burning on the outside but raw on the inside. So he started kind of grabbing at it with his tongues, trying to check on it, and that frantic grab accidentally broke apart the pancake's structure, creating these amazing, fluffy layers. He thought he'd ruined it, but what he actually did was invent something brand new. A masterpiece born from a moment of pure pan.
So when this new technique got to Taiwan, local chefs took that happy accident and pretty much turned it into a science. And this is where we get into the real physics of flakiness. This is the stuff that explains why when you or I try to make this at home, it sometimes ends up like a piece of cardboard. Let's crack the code.
Okay, secret number 1 is the hot dough method. Instead of using cold or lukewarm water, you use boiling water to mix the flour. And this is absolutely crucial. See, the intense heat completely changes the flour's proteins and starches. What you get is this incredibly soft, easy to work with dough that holds on to its moisture. This is literally the difference between a tender, chewy pancake and a dry, hard crack. And now for secret number 2. And honestly, this is the real soul of the pancake, the oil flour paste, or yo su. It's a super simple paste, just hot oil and flour, and it gets spread really thin over the dough before it's rolled up. As the pancake cooks, this paste acts like a barrier. It stops the layers from sticking together. So the steam gets trapped inside, puffing each layer up like thousands of tiny, delicious balloons. This right here, this is the engine that drives that 1,000-layer effect. So we have the science down, right? A soft, hot water dough and that magic oil paste barrier. But science is only half the story. Now we get to the artistry. The masters who make these things every day, they perform what is basically a ritual, a performance in 3 acts. Act 1 is the rest. The dough has to wake up for at least an hour. This just lets the gluten chill out and relax. If you skip this, the dough literally fights you. It just keeps shrinking back every time you roll it out. Act 2 is the coil. You take that thin dough, cover it in the oil paste and scallions, and then roll it up into a tight spiral, almost like a snail shell. This is where you're building in all those future layers. And then for the grand finale, the grab. After the pancake is perfectly golden brown, the chef takes 2 spatulas and just smushes it, pushing aggressively from the outside in. You hear this incredible crunch as all those coiled layers just shatter and bloom. It's pure street theater.
But, you know, the pancake itself is really just the canvas. In Taiwan, how you order your scallion pancake, well, it's kind of a window into your soul. What you choose to add on top says a lot about you.
You can always go for the classic, which is just adding a fried egg. It's like a warm, comforting hug in food form. But the real pro move? That's adding Taiwanese basil. It has this incredible aroma that just cuts through all the richness. That's a choice for a true connoisseur. Then you've got the modern twists like cheese and corn for that salty sweet hit, or even fusion toppings like kimchi and pork. And if you really want to go all out, some places will add spiced beef, which basically turns this humble street snack into a full-on gourmet meal. So this all leads to a bigger question, right? Why do people love this simple food so much? I mean, it's more than just dough and scallions. It's really about the whole experience, the very soul of the street corner. I once heard someone describe it with this absolutely beautiful metaphor.
They said the pancake is like our lives. It starts out simple and flat, but it's the struggles, the pressures, that final grab from all of life's challenges. That's what creates the rich, complex, and beautiful layers of who we are. I mean, what a thought. And it really is a symphony for all your senses. You've got that rhythmic clanging of the spatulas, you have the amazing sight of the layers fluffing up right in front of you, and then there's that feeling of holding that piping hot paper bag, knowing the crispy, chewy perfection that's waiting inside. It's quite literally street corner warmth you can hold in your hand. So we've gone through the history, the science, the art, and the culture. From a simple kitchen mistake to a scientific masterpiece, the Taiwanese scallion pancake is just a perfect reminder of how something completely ordinary can become absolutely extraordinary. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. It's that you don't always need a fancy restaurant to have a five-star experience. Sometimes the most profound, the warmest, and the most deeply satisfying happiness can be found right on a street corner, wrapped up in a simple paper bag. Now, who's hungry?